friends, how you doing tonight? How's everybody doing? In 1 second, you guys are going to see a clip of me talking about step therapy and step therapy reform and advocacy and why that is important to me. But before I go into that, I just want to say that this does not reflect my political beliefs or the political beliefs of the Crohn's and Colitis Young Adults Network. This is just my experience with advocacy and advocacy related to having Crohn's disease. As someone who has tried and failed roughly 6 medications for my Crohn's disease, it would be really challenging for me if I were to be subjected to step therapy. It could impact my life greatly and my health greatly, and it could even cause long-term effects in my health. Therefore, because of my medication journey and my personal experience with having Crohn's disease, step therapy would be detrimental to me, and I personally would like to see it reformed. So it's important for me to join advocacy efforts to help make that change. I have been fortunate enough to actually have been selected twice in my life for advocacy efforts surrounding step therapy, once in Washington, D.C. and once in the state capital where I live. And both times were really important for me, and I just wanted to share a little bit about my experience with the most recent time that I went to advocate, what it means to me, and why I was advocating. So with that being said, please enjoy the rest of the video. Hey friends, how y'all doing tonight? Today I'm going to be talking about step therapy. If you are a part of the chronic illness community, you may have heard this term a lot and you may already know what it is, but if you do not, I'm going to give you a quick, short little definition of what it is, just in case. Step therapy, in simple terms, is a practice put in place by insurance companies which mandates patients to try and fail one or more drugs before they are able to fill the prescription of the original drug that their practitioner wanted them to take. That might be a little confusing, so I'm going to give you an example. I'm not going to be using any actual drug names, and so I will use colors in place of drug names. So just pretend that these colors are biologics or some other form of important medication that people with chronic illnesses need to survive. Let's say that you have Crohn's disease and you have met with your GI doctor and your GI team, and based on your labs, your symptoms, your history with your illness, your history of medications, etc., your provider and your healthcare team believes that the green drug is the drug for you, and that would be the most beneficial to you and the most appropriate for your symptoms and your disease. Now, because of step therapy, what might happen would be that you would go to your pharmacy to get the green drug that you wanted, that your GI doctor prescribed for you, and they would tell the insurance company that they would need authorization to fill that prescription. Now, the insurance company under step therapy can say, no, the green drug is too expensive. We don't want to pay for that. We aren't going to cover the green drug. We want this patient to try the blue drug first, and then maybe try the red drug. And then if that patient has failed those, then we'll provide the green drug for them. Not every insurance company does this, and not every chronic illness patient experiences this. But those that do experience this can suffer the consequences of not being able to get the drug that the provider thinks is best for them. All of which could have been prevented if the insurance company would have just covered the green drug initially and made the patient not try and fail the blue drug or the red drug first. Insurance companies can still do this if you transfer to a new insurance company and a new provider and you say, look, I've already tried the red drug and the blue drug in the past. These are the medications I've tried with those other insurance companies, with those other providers. Maybe I used to live in a different state and I know that they don't work for me, or I know that maybe they cause side effects for me. And so now I'm switching to a new insurance company and I say, look, I know that the green drug will work for me. That's the one I want. Those insurance companies can still make you try and fail the drugs that you've already tried and failed in the past. As you might be able to tell, this creates a burden for patients collectively in the chronic illness community, and this is what we call step therapy and is what we are trying to reform. So all that being said, a lot of nonprofits and advocacy groups have been going to Congress on a state level and a federal level to try to get these reform bills passed. And I was fortunate enough to go to Washington, D.C. last year with an organization to testify in Congress on a federal level. And last month, I was able to go to the state capitol where I live and talk to Congress on a local level. Each state has different legislators, and each state has different ways that they pass bills and slightly different ways that bills are worded. And so it's important for citizens, for constituents, to reach out to Congress or to visit the Capitol and let them know how important it is on a local level. The same thing is being done on the federal level with the bills that are being pushed in the House and the Senate or on the same topic. With that being said, I really encourage anybody personally to go out and advocate for things that they're passionate about. That's how change happens. It's when constituents reach out to lawmakers and tell personal stories, share how they could be affected or have been affected by these bills and practices, and really try to make a difference in the world. Because I spent the whole day in February meeting with senators and representatives, I didn't film much at the Capitol, but I filmed a few short clips. So for your entertainment, I now provide you with a couple of clips of what the Capitol building looks like in the state that I live in. Thank you for taking the time to watch this, and I hope that you learned just a little bit more about what stamp therapy is, and I hope it encourages you to get out and advocate for things that you believe in. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.